You know that feeling when you really want something, a relationship, a job, a breakthrough, and you try to stay positive, say the affirmations, visualize every day, but nothing really happens, or worse, the opposite shows up? Yeah, I've been there. And if you've ever thought, why is this not working for me? Is something wrong with me? This video is for you. Because the truth is, manifestation isn't magic. It's a muscle. And just like going to the gym, if you've never trained it, or if you're using the wrong form, it won't deliver the results you're hoping for. But once you learn how to activate that inner power, that muscle within you, everything changes. Life begins to respond differently. People start showing up. Doors you thought were locked suddenly swing open. So today, I'm going to show you what I wish someone told me years ago. The truth about your manifestation muscle, how it really works, and how to stop blocking your own power. Okay, so let's get cozy for a minute. This isn't going to be some repeat this phrase 100 times and your life will change overnight kind of video. This is more like me pulling you aside, like a friend, and saying, hey, you're way more powerful than you think. Let me show you what's actually going on beneath the surface. I remember this moment in my life when I felt completely stuck. I was doing all the right things, reading all the manifestation books, meditating, scripting, making vision boards. My intentions were good. My heart was in it. But nothing was shifting. And one night, kind of out of frustration, I just sat down and asked, what am I missing? That's when things started clicking. I realized manifestation isn't about forcing things into place with mental effort. It's about tuning into the right energetic frequency. It's a state of being. And just like you can train your body to get stronger, you can train your mind and energy to become magnetic. And that's when I started to understand. We all have this inner muscle. Some of us just forgot how to use it. Let's start with what manifestation is not. Let's clear this up real quick. Manifestation is not begging the universe. It's not about controlling outcomes with obsessive thoughts. And it's definitely not about pretending everything's fine when you're falling apart inside. Manifestation isn't about being fake positive. It's about becoming aligned. You're not trying to convince the universe to give you something. You're tuning yourself into the version of you who already lives in that reality. That's your power. And that's why I call it a muscle, because it takes practice. And sometimes, that practice looks like unlearning things first. The inner work. Your identity is the gym. One of the biggest shifts for me came when I realized this. You don't manifest what you want. You manifest what you are. Let that sink in. If you're constantly wanting something, love, money, confidence, you're sending out a signal that says, I don't have it yet. And the universe, like an echo, just sends back more lack. But when you start training your inner world, your beliefs, your identity, your emotions, to actually match the version of you who already has that thing, that's when your outer world starts to shift too. That's why I say, your identity is your gym. Want to manifest love? Start showing up as someone who believes they're worthy of love. Want to attract abundance? Train your nervous system to feel safe receiving. Want to feel confident? Practice choosing yourself, moment by moment, until it becomes your new normal. This isn't overnight, but every single rep counts. Every time you choose a new belief, every time you respond differently than you used to, every time you show up, even when it's hard, you're building that muscle. Why it's not working yet, and how to change that. Okay, now let's talk about why manifestation feels like it isn't working sometimes. It's not because you're broken. It's not because you're not high vibe enough. It's usually because you're doing the right things, but from the wrong frequency. I'll give you an example. I used to write affirmations like a mad woman. I am abundant. I am loved. I am free. But deep down, I didn't believe a word of it. And every time I wrote it, I felt that tiny whisper inside saying, "You're lying." That whisper, that's the subconscious, and it runs the show. You can't override it just with positive thinking. So instead of forcing affirmations you don't believe, what if you trained your belief system instead? Start with what feels just one step more believable. Instead of, "I am wealthy," when you're broke and scared, try, "I'm learning how to trust money again," or "I'm open to seeing opportunities differently." Those small shifts are powerful. They're like emotional weightlifting. You're meeting yourself where you are and building real strength from there. Emotion is the fuel, not the words. This one's huge. Your words don't manifest. Your emotion behind the words does. You can say, "I am confident," 100 times. But if your body is trembling with fear, your signal to the universe is fear. That's why embodiment matters. Your job isn't just to say the thing. It's to feel the version of you who already has what you want. Now, don't panic if it's hard at first. It was for me too. But here's what helped. Instead of trying to fake confidence or happiness, I started practicing glimpses, little moments. Maybe it was 5 seconds of imagining what it would feel like to be in love and safe. Maybe it was 10 seconds of feeling what financial peace might feel like. And those glimpses, they added up. They trained my system. They built the muscle. The shortcut is authenticity. Here's something no one tells you in the beginning. The fastest way to manifest is by being radically honest with yourself. Don't slap a fake smile on a wounded heart. Don't pretend you're okay if you're crumbling inside. Real power doesn't come from pretending to be high vibe. It comes from being real. Because when you're real, you can actually move the energy. When you face what you've been avoiding, your fear, your shame, your anger, it no longer controls you. You get to reclaim your energy. You stop leaking power into old stories. And you start creating from a place of truth. That's when manifestation starts to feel natural, effortless even. Not because life got easier, but because you got clearer. So, if this is starting to click for you, if you're realizing that manifestation is less about doing and more about being, you're already ahead of the game. In the next part of this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to start training your manifestation muscle daily. No fluff, no pressure, just simple practices that rewire your inner world and help you step into that magnetic, empowered version of you. And trust me, when you learn how to use this muscle, you won't chase, you'll attract. So, now that we've cracked open this idea that manifestation is really a muscle, you might be wondering, okay, but how do I train it daily? How do I stay consistent when life gets chaotic and I fall back into old patterns? I get it. Life doesn't pause just because we decide to grow. The bills still come. People still test you. That old voice in your head still says, "See, nothing's changed." But here's the thing. I'm not going to tell you to be perfect. I'm going to tell you to be persistent. The shift happens not when you feel good every day, but when you return to your power a little faster each time. Here's how I started training my manifestation muscle without making it this overwhelming chore. First, I picked one emotion I wanted to feel more of. Just one. For me, it was secure. I realized that under everything I was trying to manifest, money, relationships, peace, I just wanted to feel safe in my own skin. So every day, I asked myself, what's one small thing I can do today that helps me feel a little more secure? Sometimes, that meant sitting still for 5 minutes and just breathing into my chest. Other times, it meant canceling a plan because I was too drained and needed space to rest. One time, it even meant deleting an old text thread with someone who kept pulling me back into old energy. Those little choices, they were my reps. I wasn't just thinking different. I was being different. That's the real training. Tiny, intentional shifts that change your self-concept over time. Let me give you a story. A friend of mine, let's call her Mel, used to always say, I attract emotionally unavailable men. It's like a curse. And she wasn't wrong. She had a pattern. But when we started talking about this manifestation muscle, I asked her, okay, but who are you when you're around these men? How do you show up? She paused and said, honestly, I'm quiet. I try not to ask for too much. I want to seem easygoing. Boom. There it was. She had trained herself to suppress her needs in exchange for attention. So I challenged her to do 1 rep a day, just one small moment where she expressed what she actually needed without apologizing for it. At first, it was awkward, but a few weeks in, something wild happened. She met someone new, and for the first time, she didn't feel the urge to shrink. She started attracting what matched her new sense of self. Not because she manifested the guy through a journal prompt, but because she became the version of her who would never settle for crumbs again. That's the muscle. Now, I'm not saying journaling doesn't work. It totally can. But the magic isn't in the words. It's in the emotion behind them. So when you're scripting your dream life, don't just describe the car or the partner or the house. Describe how you feel in that life. Are you grounded, confident, joyful? Start building that now in small, doable ways. If your dream life includes waking up with peace and clarity, ask yourself, how can I give myself 5 minutes of peace this morning before I check my phone? That one choice shifts your energy. And when your energy shifts, your life follows. Another thing that helped me was treating my thoughts like a gym mirror. You know when you're lifting weights and you glance in the mirror, not to judge yourself, but to check your form? Same thing with your thoughts. When I caught myself thinking, this will never happen for me, instead of spiraling, I'd just say, oops, bad form, try again. No shame, no drama, just course correction. It made it light, playful, and honestly, kind of fun, because I stopped seeing every negative thought as failure. I saw it as feedback. That shift alone made a huge difference. And here's something that might surprise you. The more I trained this muscle, the less I needed to manifest specific outcomes. I didn't need to control everything anymore. I started trusting myself to handle whatever showed up. That's true power. When your sense of safety isn't tied to what happens, but to who you are. You see, we've been taught to chase outcomes. But manifestation isn't about chasing. It's about aligning. It's about becoming so rooted in your own worth and energy that the things that used to feel out of reach start to find you. That's the part no one tells you. When you stop obsessing over the how and instead focus on the who am I becoming? Who am I being today? You unlock that inner power that no one can take from you. And yes, there are days where it'll feel like nothing's working. You'll want to give up. You'll fall back into old loops. That's okay. It's normal. Even people who seem like they have it all together go through that. The difference is they don't stay there. They come back to themselves over and over again. So if you're watching this and thinking, but I've tried and nothing's changed, just remember, growth is often invisible until it isn't. You don't see the roots growing underground, but one day the plant bursts through the soil. That's you, right now. The roots are growing. The strength is building. Even if you can't see it yet, keep going. You're not behind. You're not late. You're not broken. You're just remembering your power. And every time you choose a better thought, a kinder action, a more aligned belief, you're flexing the muscle that changes everything. So yeah, the truth is, you don't need to overhaul your life overnight. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to manifest $1 million miracle by next Thursday to prove your power. All you need to do is start showing up for yourself, one choice at a time. That's how you build the muscle. It's in the moment you say no to something that drains you. It's in the second you pause before reacting and choose a new way to respond. It's in those quiet mornings when you sit with yourself instead of numbing out with noise. That's when the shift happens, because manifestation isn't about waiting for something magical to happen. It's about realizing the magic was always in you. And once you stop looking for permission to feel good, to believe in your vision, to speak your truth, to trust your timing, everything around you begins to rearrange. People respond to your energy differently. New opportunities seem to show up out of nowhere, not because the universe suddenly likes you more, but because you finally started aligning with the version of you who was always ready. So if no one's told you this lately, let me be the one to say it. You are not behind. You are not stuck. You are awakening. You are remembering who you are. And your manifestation muscle? It's already working. The fact that you're watching this right now means something inside you knows it's time. Time to stop dimming. Time to stop doubting. Time to trust yourself again. And if you're ready to take that next small step today, just pick one feeling you want to embody. Not the outcome, just the feeling. Peace, safety, joy, trust. Pick one and find a way, your way, to experience it for 60 seconds today. That's your rep. That's the work. That's the practice. And I promise, it adds up more than you know. Now, if this resonated with you, if something in you just felt a click, or a calm knowing like, yes, this is the reminder I needed, then don't let it fade away. Keep the momentum going. You can subscribe if you want more of this kind of guidance, because I'll be diving even deeper into how to rewire your energy, raise your frequency, and actually live the life your soul came here for. I'm not here to just motivate you. I'm here to remind you of your own power until you start living from it every single day. And if you're already feeling it, leave a comment and let me know. What's the one feeling you're choosing to embody today? Let that be your declaration. You've got this, and I'm right here with you. Until next time, stay aligned, stay bold, and don't forget, your power was never lost. It was just waiting for you to remember.